Good morning, Year 3. Today we're going to look at features of poetry. First, we're going to have a look at a poem based on the chapters that you should have read. If you haven't read them yet, pause the video now and read it before continuing. On top of the hill, the family ate, when all of a sudden the earth did shake. Filled with fear, they turned and fled, as the ground rose up, as if it bled. An iron giant arose with a deafening roar, as birds took flight and started to soar. The people screamed and looked for help, only Hogarth did not let out a yelp. He had a plan, he knew he'd succeed, he just needed all the villagers to believe. And they finally did, and to Hogarth they turned to save the day. With a clonk, 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 he lured the giant away. To the scrapyard they went, where he could eat his fill, and the iron giant sat down, quiet and still. Eat all, Hogarth cried, and the giant's rust disappeared to everyone's surprise. So we're going to have a look at some figurative language. So poetry uses figurative language to capture the reader's imagination and present the poet's ideas in powerful ways. This includes rhyming schemes, alliteration, onomatopoeia, and repetition. First, we're going to look at the rhyme scheme that has been used in the poem. Rhymes help to create a rhythm and can be very hard to create. This poem uses rhyming couplets. This is where two lines which are co-current rhyme with each other. This is carried out throughout this poem, creating an AA, BB, CC, DD, EE, FF rhyme scheme. In this poem, you can see highlighted in red that all the words at the end of the line rhyme with the following one. For example, fled, bled, roar and saw, help and yelp. Now we're going to have a look at alliteration. Alliteration is where a range of words in close order start with the same letter or sound. These don't always have to be words that are directly next to each other. In this poem, there is only one example of alliteration, when the poem says, filled with fear, they turned and fled. And the poet has used the repeated f sound, which is an elongated sound and highlights how the people are consumed by their terror. Next, we will look at onomatopoeia. If you have the poem in front of you, talk with the grown-up in the room and see if you can find where onomatopoeia has been used. So onomatopoeia is when a word sounds the same pronounced as it sounds when you hear it being made. For example, smash or bang. In the poem, the clonk, 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 which is taken from the book, is used to capture the sounds of the giant walking. Finally, we will look at repetition. Repetition is when you repeat a word over and over for effect. The onomatopoeia and repetition happen at the same point. The clonk, 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 repeating to imitate the giant steps. So your task for today is to create an example of all of these features in the couplet lines of poetry. It must be about the Iron Man and could form the basis for your poem, which you will write tomorrow. Don't forget to state which feature you are using and that you only have to write 2 lines of poetry for each one. Good luck.